Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to Kickstarter Quest. How's it going? Happy Wednesday. Wednesday is over. We're officially more than halfway through the week. That's got to feel good. What's up? Hope you're doing well. I'm Sam, your host for the evening, joined, of course, by my constant co-host, Arel. How's it going, Arel?
Howdy. It's going well. It's been a long Wednesday, so I'm glad that we're halfway through.
A long Wednesday. Aren't they all?
Yeah.
Aren't they all, though? Yeah, that certainly is the case. We've got a banger show in store for you guys tonight. Not only have the number of games on the Kickstarter list decreased significantly, but the number of games in our personal possession has increased significantly. So we're going to be doing some. We're going to be trying out some new stuff this evening. We're going to be workshopping it a little bit. Keeping things fast and loose. So, that's kind of the plan. Let's see. Before we jump into things, Arel, how you been? You got anything to share with the class?
I've been doing a number of job interviews that are going very well. A big uptick in that. And nice. Mostly, and the only downside about it, I have to say, is that you spend 45 minutes... This is a very New York City problem. You spend 45 minutes commuting somewhere in New York City to do a 20-minute job interview, and they go, okay, thank you, and then you spend 45 minutes commuting back home. So, that's the up and down of it. But life is good. Can't complain.
That's great. We love to hear it. You've also been busy with, you're making crosswords. You're making crossword puzzles these days.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I, a few years back, when the New York Times Connections came out, which are my true number one love.
You love the Connections.
I love Connections. I love Connections.
I never do Connections.
I was making a connection every day, and I did it for like a couple months. I think like 2 to 3 months straight. I made one connection every day after doing the connection of the day, and it went well, except that it got very tiring after 2 to 3 months because I felt like I kind of had to do it. I wasn't just doing it for fun at a certain point. I was like doing it because I felt obliged to do it.
I know how that goes.
So now I'm just like, let me try something different, and I'm just doing a mini, which is like a 5x5, and I use a free open source crossword puzzle building tool, and it's very nice, and the guy who makes it is very nice, and it's just like, I don't know, it's like, I'm sure you understand, Sam, but it's like, you find like a little niche community for something and you join, and you're like, oh, everybody is exceptionally nice in this community. Like, it's not just fun to do it, it's like fun to be a part of the community.
Absolutely, yeah. It's kind of what we're trying to foster here, as a matter of fact.
And how's your week been?
My week's been good. It's funny that you're getting into making crosswords. I'm getting back into doing crosswords. I've recently subscribed to the New York Times Games app for $2.99 a month. It's a fantastic value. It's going to spike next year, so I'll have to reassess. But for the time being, I'm certainly getting my money's worth. And
here's a controversial question for you.
Oh, okay.
No, here's a topic of discussion.
Okay.
If you are somebody who plays the New York Times crossword or the New York Times games and only the New York Times games, are you a gamer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I do wish they would diversify a little bit out of the word games pigeonhole that they found themselves in. It'd be nice if there was they do have like the tiles game, but that one kind of sucks.
Yeah, I don't like tiles that much.
It's kind of a bad... There's nothing to it. There's no thought. You're just like mindlessly matching. It would be great if they had like... I don't know how you would do it, but some like more static version of like Candy Crush, you know what I mean? Where you know what I mean? Where it's like a visual puzzle of some sort that you're solving.
This is gonna sound... I'm gonna tell you something preposterous, but I need you to hear me out.
Okay.
I have started doing another company's puzzles that they release every day, in addition to New York Times, because I'm kind of puzzle coded right now.
Okay.
It is, and please don't immediately boot me from this podcast.
What are you about to drop?
It is LinkedIn's daily games.
Oh, LinkedIn. No, that's pretty based.
And they have
LinkedIn.
2 games, one called Tango and one called Queens, I think. And those are have nothing to do with numbers. They're like all logic based, and
Wow.
I would recommend you try them out. I think
Okay.
their other three puzzles kind of suck. I don't like them. But Queens and Tango, I get a lot of mileage out of them every morning.
Nice. That's exciting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I mean, I really like. I do the mini, obviously. I can't. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough for the full blown crossword puzzle. There are like a couple days early on where I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this crossword puzzle. If it kills me, if it takes me all day, and it did take me all day once, and I didn't finish it.
Y- You know how
And
crossword puzzles work? Like, you know their difficulty and everything? I don't want to
no, I don't
mansplain it
know.
to you.
No.
Okay, so Monday is the easiest crossword puzzle. So Monday is recommended
Oh.
for people in the New York Times. So Monday crossword easiest.
Uh
It
huh.
escalates in difficulty to Saturday. That is the hardest puzzle of the week. It will not get harder than a Saturday. Saturdays suck, even for
Okay.
me, who loves crossword puzzle. I hate a Saturday puzzle.
Okay.
And then a Sunday usually has like some clever or abstract theme to it. So
Hmm.
Sunday's kind of like could be easy, could be hard, but there's something like there's some clues that are like all related to one category, or like it's all going to be one big pun at the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah,
interesting because I've definitely encountered some puzzles like that, and now that you mention it, I'm sure it was on Sunday, and I was like, wow, this
yeah,
is like way more clever than they normally are.
yeah.
So that's cool to know. Does the mini
Yeah.
follow the same pattern?
The mini used to not, but recently I've seen that it started following that, where Saturday's their hardest and
Okay.
Sunday is always like kind of a funny puzzle that they do.
What I've noticed, the pattern that I've been picking up on is that they have different authors for them, and I
Yes.
just have like authors where I see the puzzle and I'm not gonna mess with that. I'm not playing that one. These guys, some of the like, what's the one guy? Sam Ezereski. I hate
Yeah,
that guy.
he's a tough one.
I hate that guy so much. He's wasted so many hours of my time, or I
I
maybe she. I
I
don't know.
don't I don't check the names, but I know like the mini. Obviously, I love a mini because I'm making one every day,
Yeah.
and almost all the minis are made by Will Shorts, the same guy who's been making them for years.
Okay.
And sometimes I'll do the mini without looking at it, and I'll go, "This isn't a Will Shorts mini. It's just not from him."
That's so funny. You can definitely tell though. There's like a style
Yeah,
to
you
it.
can. Yeah, yeah.
Very funny. Yeah. So the mini's great. I also like the spelling bee, and of course, where you got to do the wordle, but
You gotta do
the
the
word
Wordle.
there's it's hard to like have any style incorporated into the wordle.
I bought my parents the word. My parents love the Wordle.
Uh huh.
I bought my parents the Wordle board game that the New York Times made.
Oh, what?
A real thing. I don't actually know what it is.
Okay.
It has sat in their living room closet unopened since I gifted it to them. They have not even engaged in the Wordle game yet.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Bit of a bummer. They're gonna have to
it's
bust it
rough.
out sometime.
I'm sure it sold very well though. I mean,
Oh
like,
yeah.
I can't imagine that the average Wordle consumer that loves it wouldn't have purchased it.
Cool. Well, that's probably enough New York Times
Yeah,
games
probably enough.
talk.
Yeah.
But that was a fun little rabbit hole to go down.
Should we
Let's talk about
briefly?
real gamer games.
Yeah. Do you
Uh,
want to go first?
yeah. So I've got a couple. We're okay. New segment alert. New
New
segment
segment.
alert. We're gonna do games show and tell. So Arl and I have both recently acquired some new board games. I guess this probably won't be every week because I don't think we're gonna have new games every week. But
Yeah.
when we do, I think this is. I don't know. You guys tell me. Is this cool? Is this anything? So I'll start. I'll start and I'll show my first game that I acquired recently, and that is Far Away. Far Away. This game rocks. I love this game. I played this for the first time at Dice Tower a couple months ago now. Gosh, it's hard to believe that was a couple months ago. I guess it was last month, technically. The cusp of March. Anyways, played it at Dice Tower. It's super cool. Really quickly, what it does that's cool is it's like a tableau builder, but it makes your brain think in this really awkward and interesting way where you're building your tableau in one direction, left to right, and then after 8 cards have been played, everybody flips over all their cards, and then you score them right to left. So you flip over the first
Oh.
one, and it obviously there's nothing else for it to score off of, so it's usually like 0 points. Then you flip over the next one, and now that has one other card that can score off of. But you go in reverse order, and so the card that you play first is the card that you're trying to set up for the rest of the tableau, which is like opposite direction that most of those games usually work in. So anyways, super interesting. It's really it's not like a brain burner, but it definitely like gets the gears turning in a weird direction. So that's Far Away. Really been enjoying that recently. Arl, what do you got for us?
I got off of a recommendation from Polygon, which is I'm like kind of low-key addicted to their news articles. I read them every day. Ito, which, speaking of Dice Tower, they decided to put a Dice Tower's Essential sticker on the box, and I don't like it. I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think it looks good.
Okay.
No, it's such a beautiful minimal box. I promise also it's not OT. This is just, it's only on mine that says that you have it flipped around the other way. So
it is like the perfect title to be confused in that way, though.
Yeah.
It's exactly symmetrical.
Ito, I'm just going to read, because I'm not as good at describing things. I'm going to read how Board Game Geek describes it. Ito is a cooperative game where you and your friends get your own secret number that you have to try to put in order as a group based on the clues you give related to the theme. At the start of the game, each player gets a secret number card that has a value between 1 and 100. No other player can tell you directly what number they have, and neither can you. The trick is for everyone to understand people's intentions by hearing theme-based clues. Do you and your friends see eye to eye on how you view the world? Have fun finding out in this exciting party game.
Have fun. That is the most important thing after all, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that all board games should have that as a rule in it. Just like a final thing. Like,
hey guys,
what is the final rule of all of Studio Sp1cy's games? Was just like, also have fun. Like, try to have fun while you're playing.
Yeah. Neat. Yeah, that sounds cool. I like a good game like that. Sounds sort of abstract and thinky.
Yeah, I haven't played it yet. It's still in the wrap, but I have some friends coming to stay and visit in New York for a couple days tomorrow, so we're going to try playing it then, and I'll let you know next week how it went.
Very nice. Well, I look forward to hearing about it. My second game, we won't draw this out for too long. We're just going to do 2 games. My second game that I've acquired is actually one that we've looked at on the channel before. We saw it when it was... I forget if we saw the crowdfunding countdown for this.
I think it was on Hotness list.
Is it on crowdfunding? Okay. I don't know. I don't remember. But we looked at it in one form or another, and it is The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the trick-taking game. Now, Arel and I love to joke about the title of this game and how it's really the perfect title. I mean, I just look at that. Doesn't that fit so nicely on this box that they've... It's kind of the perfect combination of oddly long title on oddly shaped box. It's just like...
Yeah, they wrote it the wrong way on the box, too. They had all that space.
It could have been like this.
That way to write it. I did realize something with you reading it this time, though.
Okay, what is that?
I can excuse the name if next year we get The Lord of the Rings... What's the second one? The Return of the King? The two towers? The Two Towers? The Two Towers? Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the trick-taking game.
Twin Towers.
If they keep making one for every book movie, sure. If we never get another one after this, I will never forgive them for that name.
It's true. That would be pretty egregious to make that differentiation and then not have it matter at all.
Yeah.
So this is a pretty neat game. I have not played it yet, but I have read through the rules. I was supposed to play it tomorrow, but my little gaming event ended up getting canceled. So we'll see when I get this to the table. But the deal is that it's a pretty standard trick-taking game. You've got... Everybody gets like a character card, and the character needs to accomplish certain things over the course of the round. Like they need to win a certain number of tricks, or they need to... I forget exactly how they all work, but some of them get to do special things like draw extra cards. Anyways, it's asymmetrical in that way, but it's cooperative, and there's like, I want to say 13 chapters to this that you play through, 13 different scenarios.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So there's quite a bit packed into this little box, and you play through the different scenarios, and as long as everybody fulfills their character's requirements by the end of the game, then you win. And if somebody doesn't, then you lose, obviously. But that's kind of all it is. There's no talking, So you have to kind of like be in sync with everybody, and that's, I think, sort of where the challenge lies. Otherwise, you could just be like, I'm gonna play this, so hold on to this card or whatever. But yeah, that is Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Rings trick taking game.
Yeah, don't you leave anything out.
Yeah,
We'll never know which game it is.
we'll never know. We'll really never know. Cool. Well, we are just about ready to jump into some Kickstarter mayhem. But before we do, I want to share some brief Studio Spicy news. Got a couple of updates to share with y'all. Mostly on the art front. I've been continuing to receive artwork for some games. The first one that I'd like to share. So, this is actually done. This game is done. Not as in like produced done, but all the files are done, and I have a I guess I would call it a beta copy of it in front of me right here. And this is Cat Party, everybody.
Whoa.
Cat Party. Say hello to Cat Party. The art is done by Arel and I's good friend Court. So that's certainly something. I think she knocked it out of the park. Very cool. Thank you, Court. I'll get into it real quick. This is, like I said, just a beta version. I've sort of done some rudimentary packaging on it. I've got in this little like generic tuck box type deal. Just as sort of like a side note, I am doing some thinking recently about different ways to address the tariff situation and not be impacted too much by having to wait on production a little bit, because that is sort of what the situation is I'm just, I've got both this game and Mythmash, which we're going to talk about in just a second, lined up, ready to press print on more. Well, Mythmash isn't quite ready, but I will be ready to press print on them very soon, and just kind of am going to be waiting until the tariffs cool off a little bit before I do so. But in the meantime, I'm considering publishing them in this form, which is, here, I'll get the cards out so you can see sort of what they look like. The print quality is pretty good. It's pretty nice. The cardstock quality leaves a little bit to be desired. It's not quite, I can't print on quite as thick a paper as professional printers, the printers in China can. And I also can't, sorry, the camera's backwards, so it's hard to like figure out which way I need to move to fan these. Gosh, that's difficult. The quality of the cards is a little bit lacking. So they're not quite as thick, and they're not quite as durable. Just as an example, I printed up a deck of cards like this for the first version of Mythmash and took that with me to Dice Tower last year, and was demoing it all weekend. Probably played like, I don't know, 30, 40 games. Not that many. 30 games probably. 20, 30 games of Mythmash. And by the end of the weekend, the deck was pretty ragged. The cards were like, corners were bent and the edges were scuffed, and it just didn't look great. So, that being said, 20, 30 plays is a lot of plays. And they did hold up for the first 10 or so. I don't know. The other component of this would be like, first of all, it's hard to promote a game in this form. You don't really want to run like an ad campaign, bring in people that are totally unfamiliar to your stuff, and the first thing they see from you is like, yeah, it's like I printed it in my basement, and it's like on kind of crappy paper. So that's a challenge, and it's also a challenge because I do eventually want to mass produce these, and I'm afraid that selling it in this form might kneecap the sales of the mass-produced version a little bit. So those are all kind of things that I'm weighing right now. But all that being said, maybe look out for a version of this being offered later on. Here's the rules. They're in a nice little fold-out.
It's very nice, yeah.
Yeah, nice little, just a one-pager, two-pager, I guess, on the back. And then to give you sort of a closer look at some of the cats, I'll show you these cat cards.
Yeah, show us the main attraction.
The main attraction. So here's they're all over the deck that I just showed you, but here's These cards really feature the artwork most prominently. So we've got
Wow.
all these different. Look at all these cats. Didn't Court just kill it with his artwork? Doesn't it look
She knocked out
fantastic?
of the park. These are so good.
Yeah. I don't know if the picture's clear enough for you to tell. I don't know if you're a big music fan either, Arl. Big records guy. But if you can,
Oh, yes,
you
I
might
saw
notice
Court posted
the.
the high definition one. It's the Neutral Milk Hotel album.
Yeah. Which I think is very funny. Very, very funny. We've got Cowboy Cat. He's saying Meowdy. All his partners. Wizard Cat. Punk Rock Cat. So, anyways, that's Cat Party. Very excited to have that. Like I said, that's done. Cat Party's done. The game is finished. The artwork is all finished. That's all right here in this little box. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening with that. Once the tariff thing settles, that's what it's gonna be. So very cool there. And then for Myth Mash, why don't I swap us over to the desktop scene so I can show you. I've just started getting back samples of so we looked at sketches a couple weeks ago, right? Do you remember that? We looked at
Yeah.
some sketches of the Myth Mash cards. I finally started to get back some fully illustrated pieces, and oh my gosh, they are gorgeous. Have a look at this. Check that guy out. Very cool. Very nice. I love this
Whoa.
template that he put together for it too. It's not what the final cards are going to look like, but I like that color a lot. I'm a little.
Yeah.
We'll see if I can print that. That looks to me like a color that's going to be hard to
He's
print.
taking your job now.
Yeah, seriously. Whoa, slow down a little bit. Gonna put me out of business. Yeah, so sick, so sick. And then we got one more to share here as well. Um, so yeah, that is the Myth Mash artwork as it currently stands. So
These are
stoked about
looking
this.
great.
Yeah, yeah, they really
Here I
are.
thought, that the art, by the same artist would be kind of identical to the first Myth Match, but somehow I feel like he's surpassed himself.
Yes, yes, that's what I told him. Like, dude, you're one upping yourself with this. I mean, it's been a year since he did the last one, so he's had some time to grow as an artist and really hone in on his style. And I feel like that's exactly what he's done. Because
Yeah.
these are killer. These are so sick. Couldn't be happier with how it's looking. So that's my news. That's the news for the evening. Okay, Brian, what's up? Good to see you. We got Pork Chop
Brian.
Brian in the house, everybody.
Workshop Brian. Thank you for telling me which Brian immediately off the
That's
bat, so I
right.
don't make a fool of
We do
myself.
have to differentiate, much like the Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Rings trick-taking game. We do have to differentiate between which Brians we're talking about. Ours is much more valid, I would say, because we do actually have two Brians already. So
Yeah. Well, and also both names are like 3 syllables tops, even with the
Yeah.
addition. So
True. That does make it a little more palatable. Yeah, we're doing great, Brian. Thanks for being here. I hope you're doing swell as well. All right, guys. What do you say? Should we just do it?
let's do it.
Let's do it. So here's the crowdfunding countdown list. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Did you also
6, 7.
share screens with me quickly?
Oh yeah. My bad.
No
Let me
worries.
do that real quick. Real quick. There you go. Oh, and we got Jerry as well. Welcome in, Jerry. Welcome in. Glad
Woohoo.
to see you here. Always a pleasure to have you, Jerry. Yeah, so there's my screen. What was it? We're counting the games. Counting the games that we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. April 23rd is going to be the cutoff, right?
Yes, that is correct. That's 7
Okay.
days from now.
So we will look at Mine 77. But we will not look at Skull Tales Full Sail. Okay. I could be tripping, but when I was looking at this list earlier today, I could have sworn there was one in between these two. So I don't know if something got canceled But that is certainly. So I was talking to Arl earlier today about how I really wish there was like a way to see if like which campaigns have been canceled. Because I have a sense that some of that is going on right now. But I guess we'll just never know. Anyways, 8 games to look at, and we should be able to get through all of them. So why don't we just a real quick? Okay, sorry, this is the last distraction before we get into it. Have a peek at our good friend at the top of the hotness list right here. We've got Deep Regrets, a game that we were
Oh,
both quite stoked on, and
yeah.
sure enough, here it
I'm
is.
truly, truly pleased to see it up there. And I'd like to think that part of the reason it's so high is because of its amazing trailer that it had.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also because of the amazing promotion that it got from esteemed
Oh,
board game review channel
of
Kickstarter
course.
Quest.
Kickstarter Quest, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you can mail us our checks.
Yeah, please.
Um, I think we deserve a little bit of the cut in on this action, considering all the promotion that we did for Deep Regrets. But no, that's a cool game, and it's cool to see it doing well. All right, here we go. Now we're finally going to do it. We're going to start off with Pirates of the High Teas plus one more.
Oh,
Plus
promo
Corsair's
party.
Courage Pro. Oh, why is that plus? That's not a plus one. That's not what that's
That's not
supposed
a
to be
plus
for.
one.
Come on. That's not a plus one. Find it in 9 minutes. We've got a video. Holy smokes. That's a nice
Wow.
little chunk of change.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Pirates of the High Teas. Let's see what this thing is all about.
Avast, ye scurvy dogs! Ye thought treasure was all gold and jewels, aye? Well, you've been misled. For a pirate's greatest prize is actually
Tea?
Afternoon tea.
Oh, okay.
In Pirates of the High Teas, you play as a crew of tea-loving pirates, all scrambling to serve your captain the most exquisite afternoon tea.
Wait a second. I'm struggling to figure out how they filmed this. This has got to be rendered in 3D, right?
Yeah.
The shaders, they've done a good job of making this look realistic. Like sometimes we'll watch these trailers and the footage will basically just be like tabletop simulator footage.
Yeah.
Like this looks nice. This is a really nice
No, this is like a
well
real like
rendered.
rendered in Unity or something, like given like shading engine, the whole shebang. You know, we were talking that we should try to come up with some sort of award to give like the best game at the end of our episode.
Yes,
we should have a
thank you for
second
remembering.
award for the we should have a second award for the best trailer, which may
Oh.
or may not go to the same thing.
You're cooking tonight, Arl. Those are both.
Thank you.
Those are great.
Thank you.
Those are great. We're gonna do that. So everybody, hold your votes for the end of the show. Maybe we could do a poll. We could do a poll on which games we
Oh,
think
yeah.
help the audience decide. That could be fun. Brian says, just add in Discord, not a game, but something that may be the next big thing in action figures. Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, Brian, we're not really an action figures channel, but we'll see. Only 8 games on the docket tonight, so I think
We could get to it.
there's
Brian,
certainly a world where we could get to this.
I've been known to respect some points of articulation. I can get down with it.
All right, let's continue
Yeah.
here.
With delicacies from across the 7 seas and teas
Ooh,
from
dango,
every corner
yum.
of the world, create the most delectable sets of 3 dishes paired with the perfect tea. While the captain demands the perfect pairing, sometimes pirates can't afford to be delicate. So, smush together whatever's handy to make never-before-seen culinary creations and monstrosities. They might not be what the captain expected, but by thunder, it's what they ordered. Every round, you'll strategically deploy your pirate, jockeying for position to gain the perfect
I like the way they
combination
move.
of dishes.
Yeah,
tea,
that is a
and
fun little
weaponry. And don't forget to use
Clickety
your
clackety.
pirate gear. Every afternoon tea.
Whoa, is the cannon included?
Guys, what is it really coming with a cannon?
All of the pastries in the pantry. Fire your cannon to blow
No.
them all up and get fresh. Low on tea. Send
Man, this
your
trailer's cool,
lady to
though.
sneak a couple
Yeah,
of your
it is.
secret stash in the smuggler's hold. And need to lighten your load. Send your parrot to fly a dish direct to the captain, earning you a few extra doubloons.
The voiceover could be a little louder.
Is
Yeah.
easy to learn but
It's easy to learn, but
making it perfect for pirates
difficult to
and
master.
landlubbers alike. So fill your cups and set sail for a most delightful pirate adventure.
Okay.
Pinkies up, me hearties. Yo-ho!
Yo-ho.
Yo-ho, indeed. Excellent. I like the theme. The theme's cool.
Yeah.
Play seems good. Not particularly innovative. Nothing we haven't seen before, I don't think. But, you know, that's not a death knell by any means. I mean, clearly it's still doing very well for itself. So I think a lot of people just are going to like this theme. And like I said, I'm sure the game's fun. It's just, you know, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But let's keep scrolling a little bit. Pink Hawk Games.
First created. This is pretty good for a first project.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, what do we think it costs? Let's play that fun game.
Ooh. I'm gonna guess $24.99.
$24.99. Wow.
What do you think?
Yeah, you know, I was gonna go a little higher, but I think you might have talked me into the lower.
Oh.
Yeah, I could see $24.99. I think you're right. It's either 24, it's either 25 or 30. Something like that. Somewhere, one of those. Let's see. Whoa, 39.
Oh, wait, whoa, okay. It better come with that little cannon now.
Plus the expansion.
Oh, okay.
Where's just... Wait, can we not get just the game?
Doesn't exist. Also, what is $79 getting me? Can we...
It's the golden edition.
Metal
coins. Everyone's favorite Kickstarter add-on. The metal coins.
Metal coins, wooden tokens, and a neoprene mat.
Okay.
What more could you want to add $40
gorgeous
to the cost
box
of a game?
gilded with foil. Wow. Yeah. I don't know what comes in the bottle of rum expansion. It is a little weird that you just can't even purchase the game without the expansion.
Yeah.
Kind of would like to be able to do that. But I guess maybe it's one of those things. Honestly, maybe it's a tariffs thing. I hate to blame all of our problems on tariffs. But honestly, I could see a world where they're just like, okay, the way we're going to respond to this, we're not going to increase the price. We're just going to cancel the least expensive tier that we make the least money on. And then if you have to buy this one that comes with the expansion. Maybe. I don't know. Don't want to get too tinfoil hat.
Brian said getting the cannon is the deal breaker for me.
That's what should come in the deluxe edition.
In the deluxe edition, yeah.
If the deluxe edition came with a cannon, now we're talking. Okay. What is Pirates of the High Teas? It's a whimsical world of tea-loving pirates. Yeah, again, this says nothing about the mechanics here. It's all about the theme.
Yeah.
Which probably is smart. I think that is the selling point.
Yeah.
But yeah. That's sort of a common thread here, is that it seems like there's not
They
a
do
lot
have I think they have a how to play tab on the left. So if we scroll down enough, it'll teach us how to play.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So it's not a first-time designer. It's a first-time publisher.
Yeah. I've heard of Knitting Circle.
Yeah,
well.
I feel like I've seen this. Pirate Mischief. Yep. Saw this in the trailer. Mouth-watering art. It's good art.
It's good art.
It's good art.
Mouthwater art is a crazy thing to write.
Yeah.
That's like the equivalent. That's the same thing as that blurb last week that was like, if I was trapped on a desert island, this is the board game I'd bring with me.
Yeah, we're maybe overselling it a little bit. Which I get it. You gotta oversell.
You gotta, yeah.
You do. I do also feel like it's equally our responsibility to point it out when we see it. You know,
Yeah.
you got to keep them honest. Okay, here's what you get with the bottle of rum expansion: 8 tokens, 4 cards, a
Okay,
real
so
shit
that
in a box.
so that plus what I see in the original is, I have to say, to me, not worth $40 US.
I think I agree. Also, why is this in a box? It's a
Yeah, what
small
a.
sheet of punched out tokens
Also,
and 4 cards.
you're telling me that you couldn't just put 8 wooden tokens and 4 cards in the original game? Like, it changed the game so much that you had to make it an expansion?
Yeah, that's a little questionable. That is certainly a little
Yeah.
questionable. Um, yeah, I don't know what to say. I agree. $40 is kind of a lot for that, for what you're getting here.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that I really. Oh, here's the how to play section.
There, you just go through it quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. Deploy your pirate,
Mhm.
then pause because we're on polite parties. Because we're polite blah, 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 blah. Polite pirates. Every player chooses a space before anybody takes their action.
Okay.
Uh,
12 action.
then you resolve actions. Then you wreak havoc. Then you serve the captain. And then you smash dishes.
Okay.
Smash dishes together to make a perfect flavor combination. We've seen this done better, I think. We've seen so many games where
Yeah.
it's like you're combining cards and the artwork does like what's the like Misfit Heroes, you know? Where you're actually
Yeah.
layering the cards on top of each other. That could have been a cool application for this where it's like you're making a mango cake and it's like a cake on the bottom and then some mango whipped topping that you're putting on top of that. And now it
Yeah.
adds like different attributes and stuff. This is just like,
Yeah.
okay, we're swapping the cards and I see that the icons are overlapping on the side here, but you are just also covering up half of the artwork, so
Yeah.
feels like maybe that could have been done a little more elegantly.
Yeah. I like the art. I like the theme. I think it's got a good gameplay loop to it. I mean, clearly people are backing the project. It's made a couple $100,000. You know, you don't need me to say this, but at the same time, I'm like, I think I'd want just a little more for $40 of a game.
Yeah, totally agree. Totally agree, but at the same time, it has made $250,000, so maybe they
Yeah.
know more than we do.
Yeah, no, it did. Yep.
Cool. Well, that's parts of the high teas. I like it. Giving it a thumbs up.
Yeah.
A little bit iffy on the pricing, but that's only critique. Okay, moving on. Let's look at Taxi, the game of fair play. Now, before we jump into it, this is one of those games where sometimes I can just sort of sense that I'm not gonna vibe with it, you know. And this is
Yeah.
I'm sort of getting that that premonition before we even
Mhm.
click on the link. So we'll see if I'm proven right here.
Mhm.
It is 99% funded. What do you think happens if nobody else pledges in the next 14 hours?
I don't know.
Does it
That's
cancel?
such a morbid thought.
Oh, I think it looks like somebody did.
Oh, okay, there
It
we go.
just passed it. Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Whew.
Otherwise, I was gonna make you do it.
Cut it a
I was
little
gonna make
close
you
there.
contribute
Oh,
1%.
I was gonna have to contribute. Okay.
Yeah.
What if they were $1 off? I would pledge $1 just
Yeah,
to...
I would do it.
Okay.
Can we very quickly? I'm so sorry. Can we look at the guy that made this game really quickly? Can we just look at this
Mark
picture?
Miller.
Yeah.
I want to see a close up. Oh, show me the photo.
Can you zoom in on it? Can you give it a little control?
Yeah. Now that's a
Miller,
game designer.
I will never say a bad thing about you right off the bat. I don't care. I don't care what Taxi is. This is respectful. Remember, so Sam complimented my mustache before stream started, and I said that sometimes it doesn't matter what level of mustache you have, you'll always envy somebody else's mustache. This is a
Always a
prime
bigger
example
mustache.
right now. There's always a bigger mustache out there.
Yeah. Excellent.
Mark Miller, I'm so glad that you temporarily stopped playing the washboard in a bluegrass band to make a game for Kickstarter. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay. That's fine. Go back to the campaign. Okay, let's watch the Taxi video. They've got a video. That's a good start.
Welcome to Taxi, the
Thank you.
game of fair play.
Hi, I'm Mark Miller.
There he is.
creator of
Yes!
the game Taxi.
You look so much friendlier than in your picture.
It's
The
true.
game's twists and turns.
Looks like Santa
In
Claus.
Taxi, your goal is to pave a path of road segments from a starting to an ending location, as shown on your fare card, making sure no obstacles like detours, parades, or blizzards block your route. Each player starts with a fare card and a hand of 5 cards. But these aren't just any cards, they're your roadmap to victory. Featuring road segments for building paths and a medley of traffic disruptions and helpful reactions. During the game, you will place road segment cards on a shared tile map to build the necessary path. But it's not just about building your own path, it's also about strategically blocking your rival taxi drivers at every turn. Obstacles can quickly reshape your opponent's plans or leave them turning in the wrong direction, giving you the upper hand in this competitive path-building game.
It's
And
cooler
just when
than
you
I
think
thought
your
it would
path
be.
is clear, the hearse can
Yeah.
appear, a moving obstacle that can change the
Hearse.
game in an
The
instant.
hearse?
The first player to declare an
Mark, the hearse needs
unobstructed
better art.
path and
I'm gonna
maintain
reason
it
with you.
until their next turn wins the game.
Yeah.
With rules that are a breeze to pick up and a game that's never the same ride twice, Taxi is the perfect addition to any game night with family and friends.
So go ahead and secure your copy of this tile-laying, light
Do we really need a taxi shirt? I'm sorry.
I
but
think
this,
they did.
I
I think they did.
I think having a shirt belongs to a category of games that have already spent a lot on the artwork and need to recoup their money a little bit. And I don't think that Taxi
strategy
falls into
game
that
today.
category.
Thank you so much for supporting Taxi on Kickstarter.
This guy's so nice.
So confused to open the stream and see Timu David Letterman.
No, it'd be nice to Mark. Listen, I will say, is this this person's first project? I don't know.
Yes,
First
first
created. I think that his video was actually better than the Pirates one. Like
Wow.
I understood the game. I understood the game better right off the bat.
I agree.
Maybe it's a slightly simpler game. It is a light strategy game.
Yeah.
But this is in the realm for me now, just off the bat, and maybe you would put it there, but I don't know if I would personally buy the game, but if I went to somebody's house and they said, "You want to play the game?" I'd go, "Yeah, I'll give it a shot."
Yeah. I agree. I certainly don't hate the game. I hate to keep coming back to the art, but I really feel like with better art, this could be a much more appealing product. Like I'm thinking about Crazy Taxi. You know the game Crazy Taxi?
Oh, do
For
I?
the Sega Dreamcast?
It sounds like Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi. Hold on. I gotta
Yeah.
illustrate something real quick.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
You're telling me, okay, so same game, identical game, but it
Yeah.
looks like this now. Now
I
I'm
can-
playing. Now we're getting down.
I can answer why it's not like that.
Oh, why is that?
Yeah, I think it's because the game is slightly religious.
It's slightly
Not Crazy Taxi. If you go back to Taxi, the game of fair play,
Uh-huh.
one of the objectives was to get to church.
Okay.
And Mark Miller's
That's
bio
true.
says, and I'm not putting any hate here, there's no bias on this at all. Indie game designer, Santa portrayer, you're right. Maker,
Okay.
musician, most importantly, a Christian. So I
Yes.
think there is a little bit of like deliberate family friendness and like vanilla and cleanness to this game.
Certainly. Certainly. That being said,
Oh yeah,
that's all.
yeah.
Da-da. Yeah. Crazy Taxi.
Yeah, what a good game.
What do we think it costs? 29?
Crazy Taxi, timeless.
Ni-
Oh,
19?
this game? Yeah, I would say 1999.
1999?
Yeah,
Walking It
Oh,
print and
print-
play version for
print-
$10.
Walking It's a fun name for your category for print and play. Just want to put that out there.
I agree. 24. Okay.
Not
Respectable.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels right.
Yeah. I mean, that's 114 main deck cards, 15 fair cards, 1 square starting road, 7 plastic standees, a rulebook, and a game box.
That makes sense. I think that makes sense.
I will say one more thing about this game,
Okay.
which is crazy to look at the art. I am seeing the use of AI tab on the left.
No. Mark.
Mark,
You did not AI generate this taxi.
Mark, I need to know what you AI generated.
There's no way that
What?
you AI generated this taxi. Use of AI creators developing taxi AI. You've utilized AI to enhance the clarity and accessibility of a small portion of the game's rules.
Okay.
Mark,
No AI generated images.
you don't have
We did
to
the
use
rules, but
the.
no images.
You don't have
That's
to use
also
the
true.
use of AI tag for that. I don't think. I don't know.
I think that's so that's so different.
Yes.
I think you've completely misconstrued what the AI debate is about.
Yeah.
Mark,
Yeah, I think
I
this is
used
fine.
AI to draft a thank you letter for my job interview today. I did not let the job interviewer know that I used AI to do that.
No
You're
AI.
totally fine.
No AI generated images. Yeah, I don't care about that at all. In fact, I would
Oh, wait,
if I
we got
did
a
this
first
for
time-
my game. Oh,
We got a first time viewer, Chicken Barf.
chicken bar.
Hello, Chicken Barf, who said that the game looks like Suro, which I also agree with. It is very Suro-like.
Okay. Welcome to the show, Chicken Barf. Glad to have you.
And Chicken Barf, let me say
That's an
something.
awesome
Suro,
name.
really beautiful art, Suro. Taxi Game of Fair Play, I cannot say it's on the same level as Suro.
You know what else it could look like that I think would improve our our game here is, do you remember like when you're in kindergarten and they have like the rug that has like the map of the town that you
Yes.
drive the toy cars around on?
Yes.
It could have looked like that.
It could have looked like that.
That's, I think,
That
much
is
more
a good
family
art style,
friendly
too.
and
Yeah, no, I agree.
fits
You're
the
onto
vibe
something.
a little bit better. That's another, like, if I saw that on the cover of the box, it just looks like that rug.
Yeah.
That's also an insta buy for me. It's a very special kind of barf. Oh, awesome. Very, very cool. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Yeah, I don't know that I would even
Eat spicy
No,
goodness.
certainly not.
like a boss. What's up, Chicken Barf? Thanks for the follow. Appreciate ya. Thank you for letting me get to hear that message tonight. It's one of my favorite things to hear. Love that little stinger that plays every time.
One day, I hope that Kickstarter Quest gets big enough that we get a cease and desist from Wendy's. That's all I can ask for. That's how you know we've made it.
A guy can dream, right?
Yeah.
A guy can dream. Anyways, this is good.
Dude, free local pickup in Rochester, New York. I'm gonna drive up and meet him. I'm gonna go.
That's true. You could do that. And I guess there's not an insignificant portion of the population, the game playing population, that could probably do that. New York City's pretty big, so. Well, maybe you should. It's only $24.
Maybe I should.
You seem
First
pretty...
edition. He's dreaming big.
Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be a collector's item someday.
Yeah. You put first edition on Cat Party, right? You got it on there?
Oh yeah, you know what's on there. No, it's actually not, but maybe maybe that's the selling point for this version. Maybe the selling point of this is that it's this nice big first edition label that goes right there. Maybe. Something to think about. Okay. Brian says Brian's with you on this. Probably wouldn't buy it, but would play it if someone offered. I'm in the same spot.
Yeah.
I would give it a try. It seems good. It seems like a good game.
Yeah.
That is Taxi, everybody. Taxi has made, what are we looking at? Almost 6K. Just made the pledge. 95 backers.
You just made it.
That's a small project, but good for them. Good for them. I'm glad it's working out. Very cool. All right, moving on. Chrono Core trading card game. Feels like there's at least one campaign that we look at every week where it's something that I have just seen so many Instagram ads for. And this week it's this.
Have you seen Instagram ads for this?
Yes. I get certain.
Okay,
I
so
think
they're
I actually
marketing-
follow them now. So
Oh, okay.
That's probably why I
I was, I was
continue
about to
to.
say I consider you to be an expert on trading card games. I've never played a single one, so I'll mostly stay quiet for this one, and I'll let you handle it.
Sure, sure. We're gonna get you into trading card games someday, Arl. But
Okay.
for the time being,
Great.
um, yeah, I actually know quite a bit about this game. I watched like a how to play video. A card game channel that I follow did like a how to play video for it, and it popped up on my feed. And this was like after I already got served so many Instagram ads. I was like following their account. I was like, wow, might as well. And now here we are. Now it's on our Kickstarter Quest show. So isn't it funny how it all sort of works out in the end?
Yeah.
The game seems cool. Um, it's certainly a trading card game. Love them or hate them. You probably already know how you feel about this. It's the art is very nice, nicer than I
Okay.
would expect for a. It's like hard to get good giant robot artists. There's like it's a very specific type of artist that's
That's
good
such a funny sentence to say with no context. It's actually quite hard to get giant robot artists in this day and age. You'd be surprised.
You would, and this
You
economy.
got to know a guy.
No, but it's like a very specific subset of artists that are highly
Yeah.
skilled. Usually, it's the only thing they do. They like just draw Gundam, and
Yeah.
you have to like find those guys. So clearly, they found a few of those guys to make this art because it looks
My
pretty good.
my best friend who is coming to visit tomorrow has been waiting months for one tattoo artist that they trust to give them a Ava 1 tattoo from Neon Genesis.
Oh,
So I
that
understand.
rocks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That tracks. So that's the art is a winner for me right off the bat. Plus, look at this box design. Doesn't that look so sick? The bright
That's
yellow.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
almost like so when I was talking to Court about Cat Party, we were going back and forth about the box. And she was saying that the yellow is like a little too abrasive, but I ended up going with it anyway. And she's like, it does look very Sam. So I think
You said that in the exact intonation that I think Court would say that too.
I'm getting good. My Court impression is getting pretty good. So much in the same way, this does sort of feel like a box that was custom designed just for me. I might
Yeah.
back this. I might back this. I don't know. I'm not the biggest like mech guy. I'm not the biggest robot combat fan.
Yeah.
But I do like trading card games and I do like the art. So we'll see. I might.
Could we see the video? Can we
Yeah,
watch it?
absolutely. You
Take
can
a look
watch. Sorry, I keep you
Okay.
happy.
Welcome to Chronocore.
Oh, no worries.
Chronocore TCG is a high-octane, mech-based trading card game.
Okay, right off the bat, I'm sorry to say it, but no trading card game is high octane. You just can't say that.
Oh, I
not
thought you
a-
were going to bring up the fact that the voice actor kind of sounds like he doesn't want to be here. He kind of sounds like he did us a favor.
I bet it's the designer. I bet it's the designer of the game.
It probably is.
That would be my guess. But I agree. We could have a little more enthusiasm.
Yeah.
They will have you battling your friends for supremacy over the 9 realms. Choose your weapons, pick your pilot, and claim your core to start preparing for battle. Then, customize your creation with your choice of visor, gauntlets, and greaves to complete your war machine. Finally, build your deck with upgrades and support cards to dominate the arena.
Very cool logo. Like the
Battle
logo quite a
begins
bit.
by shuffling your 50-card deck and drawing 5 cards. You may then choose up to 5 cards.
50
to
is a
mulligan
weird
from your
number to
opening
have in
hand.
your deck.
We're going to
Usually it's
mulligan
60.
60 of the
60.
cards from our
Yep.
opening
Yeah.
hand.
Hey.
Remember to
Yeah, you
choose
see-
wisely,
and you say you don't know
because
trading
these
card
cards
games.
will be placed at the bottom of your deck and shuffled before battle ensues in the arena.
So right off the bat, this is like
Standard
very
turn in Chronocore consists
Flesh
of
and
4
Blood
phases:
adjacent,
the reset phase,
which
the
is
draw
another
phase,
trading
the
card
main
game.
phase, and the end phase.
And that you're like
First,
choosing a loadout before the game starts. In Flesh and Blood, you like choose equipment and like a hero card, and they start the game in play, which is a little bit different than the way that like most trading card games do things, where everything gets shuffled
We have
into
to
your
draw
deck.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is probably taking some cues from Flesh and Blood, and that you're starting the game with like a pre-built loadout. I'd imagine there's some sort of restrictions around like what you can start with. My this is I wouldn't call it a red flag for me, but it does raise some questions about what the gameplay is going to be like. If it's really easy to get into this this trap, to fall into this trap. Flesh and Blood has a problem with this, I think, in my personal opinion, where the cards that you start the game with sort of inform the deck that you can build around them. So to me, it ends up feeling a little less creative than a game where you're just like trying to find the perfect busted 60 cards to shuffle together, and you're going to get what you want every time out of it. Where in this, it feels like you're trying to pick like 4 or 5 cards, and then the rest of that kind of builds itself around those. Anyways,
Reset phase. During
That's
this
a good
phase,
play
you
for me.
reset your
Chicken Barf says,
score
not
chart
sure
to
why the
match
word
your max
chrono
score
is
chart.
so
Your max
overused in the
score
gaming
chart is
community.
adding all the value
you're talking to a guy who has a
of
game coming up,
each
hopefully
equipment
later
card
this
in
year,
your
called
space,
Chrono
as well as
Clash.
any support
It's
cards
matched Chrono
with a
Clash,
plus
so
numeral in their upper
I
right-hand
couldn't
corner.
tell you
Chrono
what-
is the Greek prefix of the last 10 years, Chicken Barf.
Next, the draw phase.
Maybe I
This
should
phase
change the
is where
name.
you'll draw 1 card from your deck, and then you may choose to place 1 card from your
Kinda
hand
like Chrono
into your
Clash.
void.
You like Chrono
Place
Clash?
that card face down.
Plus the
without
logo
showing
is
your
so
opponents,
sick.
and draw a card from
Yeah.
the top
That's
of your
kind
deck.
of my main reason for not
More
changing it
info
at this
on why
point.
you would want to do this with certain cards will be covered in another video.
Will be covered in
Finally,
another
the main
video.
phase begins. During
All
this
right.
phase, there are many ways to
Fine,
assert your will
I got
in your
time.
life.
So this is just a very detailed gameplay overview. I don't know that
Sure,
most
we
people.
need to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know that everybody's going to be super interested in this. So for the sake of brevity, I think maybe let's continue.
Sure.
Although I will say, very well made video. The voiceover could have maybe gone a little harder, but in general, the like presentation, awesome.
I think if I were somebody trying to make a TCG, and in my 30-day Kickstarter campaign, I made 64K, which is a fair amount of money,
Mhm.
but only had 321 backers, I fear I'd be a little concerned. Is there validity in what I'm saying? Because I feel like TCGs kind of want to reach a bunch of people.
Yeah, they live and die by the community. And 321
Yeah.
people, while definitely a successful Kickstarter, is not a huge community. So yeah, I would imagine they probably got somewhere in this campaign like a note about how they plan to grow their community, or like events they're going to do, tournaments they're going to hold, so on and so
Yeah.
forth. But yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it feels small. And without the community there, you run the risk of just sort of turning into a collector's game, which is horrible for everybody involved. It's horrible for the publisher because they don't know how much to print. It's horrible for the consumers because it's impossible to get a hold of products. And you kind of need that core like playing audience in order for a TCG to remain viable. Name it Chrono Astra and you'll sell 1 million copies. There we go.
That's kind of
Dang,
funny.
that kind of slaps.
I
That's
can't hate
kind of
on
a good
that.
name.
It even sounds good too. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, check out this artwork though. Very cool cards.
It's really nice.
Very, very cool. I'm interested to see what the pledge levels are here. I imagine we've got like some. In fact, I think I know just based off of like the stuff I've already seen about this. So we've got like some constructed decks, and we've got a booster box probably. Yeah, here's a structure deck bundle. 3 decks for $40. That's pretty good. That's yeah. I mean, most like starter decks for games these days run about $15. So that's a good price. Only 71 backers to that tier though. Maybe that'll end up being the most backed tier. We'll see. Single booster box for $90. That's cool. How many packs come in? 12 cards per pack, 30 packs per box. Yeah, that seems right. $90. That's actually a really good price. Booster boxes for most games are like 150 these days, so not too bad. Premium structure deck bundle. Everything from the starter deck bundle plus our premium acrylic tokens dial and a playmat of your choice. Don't know that I would spend $120 on them, but 88 people did, so I guess maybe I'm here. Let's see this playmat. Maybe the playmats are sick. No, nothing. Whatever. Booster box and structure deck bundle. It's only $5 more. This is a weird pricing ladder that they've built out here. I think probably I would have chosen bundles that are a little farther away from each other in price.
Yeah.
Like this is fine to jump to $240, double the price. This is for 2 players. That's nice. Sure. Case of booster boxes, 526 boxes. Is that a better deal? I guess that's a slightly better deal than just buying 6 of them at
Yeah.
$90, which would be 540, unless my math is
Yeah.
awful.
That is right.
Realm Artifice Pledge, $1,200. 2 random
2
uncut
random
sheets.
uncut sheets.
I don't know why this is such a big thing in the card game community,
And
but
3 people backed it.
yeah, 3. That is interesting. I guess this sheds a little bit of light on how they are able to raise $64K with only 300 backers.
That's $3,600 right there.
Then we have the Realm Castra Pledge, $1,800. Again, 3 backers. And then the Realm Necris Pledge, $4,000.
Uncut sheets of every card, foiled and non-foiled. 1 of 10 original prints. Random serialized alt art card. 1 of 5 serialized alternate art. Jesus.
One person wants it. They said, "Give me it. I want it all." And that is the most expensive one. I was almost expecting to scroll down and see like a $10,000 pledge.
$10,000 one, and they put you in the game.
Yeah. That'd be cool. All right, well, good for them.
Yeah.
Again, this works, except for it seems weird that there's a $120 pledge and a $125 pledge. But whatever.
Yeah. Very quickly before we go
Yeah.
from this, I assume we're wrapping up. Could we take a quick look at the tariff information tab?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Crowdfunding Studios will not be passing any of the imposed tariffs to our customers. Reference update number 38. Let's look at that.
Very nice.
Update number 38. Man, they've done a lot of updates.
Wow, they're doing a lot of updates. Yeah, geez.
Time to talk about tariffs. Everything is fine. Since folks are getting cold feet about the situation and panicking a bit at the current moment due to the amount of product we're bringing to the U.S., we have no expectations of having any extra charge for our backers from these tariffs. I'm also, in full transparency, fully expecting this to be sorted out by the time we have to import products into the U.S. That's a bold gamble, but
that's a bold thing to put it all on.
I certainly could see this being the case, but I don't know that I'm at the point where I'm fully expecting that it will be the case.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they're going to be fine either way, so good for them.
Yeah, good for them. All right.
Chrono Core TCG. I like it. I might pick up some decks. We'll see. I guess I have 14 hours to do. 12
Pick-a-Barf
hours.
says, I collect dead TCGs. I have so many at this point that they really have to have new mechanics for me to give them the time of day.
Oh, wow. That's a cool thing to collect. Dead TCGs. Yeah. This might be... I was actually supposed to go play games with them tomorrow, but I'm good friend. Well, good friends. I've known him for forever. Mike Fitzgerald, you might recognize the name, who designed the game Wyvern back in like the 90s, I think. It is like one of the original trading card games before they really started popping off. He did a couple other ones too over the years, but I would imagine you might have some of his games in your collection. But that's very cool. You like? You're a big Wyvern fan? Hell yeah! I'll pass that along to him. I'll let him know that we got a Wyvern fan in our Twitch chat. Very, very cool. All right. What's your favorite trading card game, if I may ask? I'm gonna guess. My guess would be, before you say anything, oh gosh, what's the Cyberpunk one where you have 2 decks? Why am I blanking on the name? You know what I'm talking about, though. You have the Corpo deck and
certainly don't.
the Resistance deck, and you're playing 2 decks at the same time. What's that game called? All right, in the meantime, we're going to look at Raising Rabbits. Netrunner! There it is, Netrunner, yes. That's one I've always wanted to get into, but it seems a little bit pricey. Raising Rabbits. 80K. Almost 1,000 backers. Very nice.
The art's really cute right off the bat.
The art is very cute. It's cute in a way that I don't normally expect board game art to be cute.
And
I like
like
it.
Disney cute.
Oh, yes. That is what it is. Yes. It is sort of Disney cute. So that's very cool. Should we... From
Yeah.
Thunder Bay, Canada. What a sick name for a place.
Wow, what a cool name to live.
Yeah.
And what a strange location for the peaceful Raising Rabbits to come out of.
Thunder Bay!
Straight from Thunder Bay! Raising Rabbits.
Hi everyone, I'm Aaron, the designer and developer.
For my second favorite, I would have to go with Jihad. Jihad? Jihad? I've never heard of that. But I will take your recommendation and look into it. It seems cool. Sounds. Oh, I shouldn't say it sounds cool. I know nothing about it. But
Are we
if you think
talking?
it's
Are we
cool,
just talking? Are we talking like defunct, extinct trading card games?
yeah, we are. Yeah, that's
Okay. My
That's
favorite,
Chicken Bar's
because I just
favorite.
want to be included in the conversation. My favorite is Chaotix. Thanks for asking.
Chaotix. Is that the little minis one?
I have no idea what it was. It was a show on Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
we
And
were
it got a
children.
trading card game.
Yeah, that I think lasted one season, and I liked buying trading cards as a kid, even though I didn't play the
Ah.
games. So
Chaotix. Interesting. Maybe we'll look all this stuff up after the show.
Yeah.
All right, but right now let's look at Raising Rabbits.
Of Raising Rabbits, and I'm just going to go over some quick
Vampire the
highlights of
Masquerade.
why
Oh,
I think the
okay.
game might be right for you. So right off the bat, let's go to the in-depth strategic thinking of this game. We have engine building.
Okay. In-depth strategic thinking is not really the words I want to hear in a video for a game called Raising Rabbits.
yeah,
You know? This is also maybe not quite the video that I would have put together for this game. And
Yeah.
it doesn't really say anything about the game itself, because I'm still pretty sold on it. But anyways, let's let him cook for a minute here.
Building, resource management, in-game events that happen on a monthly occurrence, and also an
Monthly
initial
occurrence.
option that you could use to get a jump start
in
in
real
the game.
time.
The mechanical design of this game is to make it feel like everything is a race. Whether you're racing to get the most bunny meeples or win the most show ribbons, or even these action cubes, which are designed to make it feel like there's tension building as you spend more and more time. Let's talk a little bit more about these cubes. You have 14 action cubes for the entire game. That's 6 summer months. And each month you get to spend 0 to 3 action cubes per turn. Now this really limits you, but it creates 2 side effects that are really great. 1, action cubes are very valuable. So you want to plan out how you spend them.
Sure.
Whether you plan it ahead of time, adapt those plans, and then sometimes you might regret that you made those actions 2 turns ago. But that's okay. Because the second effect is how the turns speed up in the gameplay. Every month that passes, turns get quicker and quicker and quicker because not only are you running action cubes, but you have a better understanding of what's going to happen next. How you choose to spend your action cubes could be based on the rabbits you have and the combinations you make with it. With over 40 rabbits and many
Gosh, those are
items,
cute
the
rabbits.
combinations you could find are almost
They're
endless.
really nice.
Every rabbit and item have unique abilities, so the way you could kind of combine them is totally up to you, but they could give you new resources, give you free actions, and even change how you do certain tasks. It's not just rabbit abilities and item abilities that you combine. You can
The
combine it with
frame
the
rate
other
is sort of
actions you
killing me
take.
here.
So for
Wait,
example,
what's
you go
happening
to the market,
here?
you buy a new item and a rabbit, then you take your line head, bring it to the show, use its ability, get 4 show buffs, and then that's just
Okay.
enough to get you that first place. rating at the
I
end of the
yeah,
round.
really
that's fine,
don't
that's
care
fine. Every
about
turn is
the
I'm sorry.
mechanics that you're
Thank
trying
you.
to sell me on right now.
Brian said, for me, not having a cannon is a deal breaker for this one, too.
Can you imagine? He's running through the rules in the game and he says, and on turn 15, if you pay 16 action cubes, you can whip out the cannon.
Yeah.
And there it is. And blow up your
That's an
opponent's
absolute.
rabbits.
That's an absolute banger, Brian. Thank you for that. That really grounded me back in reality.
Oh wow. Alright. So, Raising Rabbits. Let's
This is another first created project. I think there's something to say that a lot of the projects this week are first created projects.
have we looked at any that weren't first created? Every single one of these.
Is Chrono Core first created?
Yes. First created.
Wow, there's something there.
First created. Taxis,
Also,
certainly first
that's
created.
first
We remember
created.
this.
Yeah.
And this was also first created. Although not
Yeah,
their first design.
technically the designer made another thing. It's the first one to publish. The company's publishing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that does kind of say something, doesn't it? That the only people publishing games right now are
that are throwing their hat in right now are the people who have never done it before.
yeah. Oh boy.
Things are fine. Things are fine. Everybody.
Everything's fine.
Wow, the art is gorgeous.
Yeah, it's just too much of a game. You know?
Yeah.
There's too many things going on here. This is a rare case where I started out excited and then got less excited as we saw more about it. Usually
Chicken Bark says the game needs to be. Chicken Bark says the game needs to be mixed with kittens in a blender.
Oh sure. Yeah. Rabbits in a cannon.
Rabbits in a cannon.
Just saying.
There's
Wouldn't
a lot
that be
to
an
this,
expansion?
You would think that this would be sort of a game based on the art, and I know I'm putting. Listen, I know I'm putting labels on the game. I know I'm putting gender-based stereotypes on it, but it does seem like a game that like elementary school children would be interested in, specifically elementary school girls, given the art, and it seems to have kind of a very complex gameplay loop to it.
Extremely complex. Extremely complex. There's so much going on. Not a bad thing, by the way. Not a bad thing to have a complex game. I just think it's a mismatch of the theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the art style. I mean, if I had this game and I knew what the game was and I knew what the theme was, I feel like there's still an art style that you could have picked that would make it look more like a Euro game, where it would still sort of tie it all together better than this does. I look at this and I'm thinking like Calico or, you know,
yeah,
which I guess is also sort of a.
Calico is also a pretty heavy strategy game, so
yeah. Well, maybe that's what they're going for. Interesting.
Nice art.
Interesting.
What do we think it costs, Sam?
I think it costs. That's a good question. I think it costs $40.
I was gonna say $40 as well.
Well, we've gotten pretty good at guessing, so let's see if we're right. $65. Oh, about 47. Canadian. About 47. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, not outrageous.
Not outrageous. A little higher than we thought, but
yeah, certainly not outside of the realm of.
I've seen more egregious charges. Pirates of the High Teas.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, not the worst. What do we have in terms of upgrades? You can get these nice little trays that come with it. You can get a bag, I guess.
If it doesn't have metal tokens, metal coins, I'm out.
If we don't have metal tokens, what are we doing?
Yeah.
The Warren package. Not quite sure what that means.
A warren is where rabbits are. That's like what you call where rabbits live.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for.
Metal coins.
Thank you. Metal coins. Yes. 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 Thank you for doing enough crossword puzzles to know what a warren is.
Of course, anytime. Jacob Bark says, so what you're saying is the game needs a monster truck retheme. I do think it needs that, but with the rabbits still. And I need the game to be called Bunday, Bunday, Bunday.
There we go. Now we're talking. That is kind of sick, actually. I can see the cover now. It's a rabbit driving around in a monster truck.
Yeah, little tiny rabbit, huge monster truck running over cars. Yeah.
Yeah. That's very funny. That's very funny, and there might be something there. Okay, I think I've seen enough. Wait, actually, let's look at all these components real quick, because this is pretty overwhelming. 130 carrot coins, 1 month token. Okay, thank you for pointing out that we do get 1 month token included with this. Really 40 bunny tokens, 1 first player token, 20 buff tokens, 70 action cubes, 36 ribbons, 44 rabbits, 14 items, 13 bunny bulletin cards, 17 goal cards, 5 reference cards, 20 repair cards, 5 show boards, 1 month tracker, 5 breeding boards.
55 burgers, 55 fries, 55 air dots.
Oh, man.
I don't know if this is a controversial thing at all. I don't even know what Brian's going to say to this. I think action cubes are boring as hell. I don't know.
Action cubes?
I don't like action cubes.
I prefer I prefer mana tokens, personally.
Mm.
Give me a card. I want the cube. It's too tiny. I'm going to drop that. I'm going to forget about it.
Yeah.
Give me a card.
Yeah.
I can put down
Yeah.
and tap and turn to the side and not have to have a separate pile for my
Mhm.
used ones.
Mm-hmm.
Come on. Plus, it's probably, well, I don't know if it's cheaper or not. Probably about the same price, actually. There's those metal coins you love.
Well, not if we're talking metal coins. Yeah. What is
Action
up with
coins.
metal? Do we care about metal? Does anybody care about metal coins that much? Why is it in every Kickstarter?
I have never once been like, I'm so close
I've
to
been
liking this
playing-
game. What would put me over the edge? Metal coins.
Thanks to our friend Court, I've actually been playing a lot of one of her favorite games, which is Camel Up. Really fun game.
Okay.
I got it, and I've been playing it. And there's tons of coins in Camel Up, all of which are plastic, like all coins have been forever.
Mhm.
And I never have played a game of it where I go, it'd be better if they were metal.
Yeah,
the
it
art's
seems
really cute.
seems
Sorry.
superfluous, but I think we've probably seen enough of this.
Yeah, I agree.
That is Raising Rabbits. I almost forgot the name of this. Could have a better name too. Not exactly the most engaging name. I do really want to see what Tom Vassell has to say about this, but that's just going to take too long.
Yeah.
Raising Rabbits is a fantastic game, folks. It's a fantastic game. You raise the rabbits.
He was who we saw last week or 2 weeks ago who was really mean to that other game, right?
Yes,
Is that
that's
still
right,
Tom
yeah.
Vassell? It was like for no reason.
The one and only. I don't get it. It's a social deduction game. It's only 18 cards. I don't get it.
Quars.
Quars. This needs a T. I really want the name of this game to be Quartz, but
Yeah.
it's not. Instead it's a made-up word. So right off the bat, losing points for that. But I do think this is sort of in the opposite category of Taxi, where looking at the splash image, I do think I'm probably gonna like this.
Looks nice.
So let's have a look and see if we're in agreement here. Meeple's better than action blocks? Yeah, I mean, they're sort of different things, aren't they? Oh, we're on GameFound? Boo. Gross. Don't
Chicken
send
Burp
me to
says
GameFound.
paper money is hated by a lot of gamers, so people switch out for poker chips. Okay, I understand the purpose of coins. I'm not arguing that. I like the coins over paper money. I agree there. I guess I just don't understand like why
Metal
it would be
coins.
metal.
Poker
Yeah.
chips are way better than metal coins. IMHO.
Whoa. Okay.
Way better. They got a good weight to them. Not that metal coins don't, but it's just like, I don't know. Metal coins hit too close to home. It's like, I don't like having real physical coins on me. I don't like having change. Whenever I get change, it's immediately going into the tip jar, if there's a tip jar. I'm not carrying that around, and that just sort of,
I agree.
I've sort of been Pavloved into not liking the texture of it. Maybe that's what it is. Anyways, here's Cores.
All right,
We've got
Cores.
a video. Inevitably, I'm going to click on this and pause it at some point, and it's going to, because we're on GameFound, they have to link to the YouTube video, so I'm going to pause the video, and it's going to pull up all of my recommended
I want you
videos, and you guys are going to see all of my YouTube history.
I want you guys to know. Last week, Sam made a whole meal about how it puts a thing, it like changes his video analytics, and I kind of made fun of him a little bit for having such a fit about it. And then the next day, he DM'd me that his recommended was just like all how to play board game videos.
Bro, it literally was. It's a Kickstarter thing for one of the videos that we watched. I'm pulling it up right now. Making sure that I'm not showing anything in this. Here, it's this right here. You can see. There's the 6. I took a screenshot of it because I was so taken aback by how right I was.
Yeah.
This was going to completely throw off my YouTube algorithm. Anyway, it's not a huge deal, but I do like making it a big deal. So let's watch this video. And
Hey, Becca Scott played it. That's worth a lot.
I don't know who that is, but
I like Becca Scott. She was the OG for Geek and Sundry.
Geek and Sundry. I do know who that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Welcome, devout
Oh.
disciples and unworthy onlookers, to the most sacred of spectacles, the trials of Crystal.
I'm letting them cook.
Our monstrous mobs,
Okay, yes, we should let him cook.
all hopeful to prove themselves in the eyes of the
Horrors.
Crystal. Capturing the crystal and bringing it back to their base is the only way.
This is a bold choice for the voice actor, but It is starting to pay dividends.
See the mobs dashing for the crystal, using actions like brawling, blasting, marching, piggybacking,
Cannon.
and playing abilities to gain the
Cannon
upper
spotted.
hand.
Cannon!
Each monster ability may be used or feasted upon. Munching is the way to glorious power. The shrines bless those most devout with boons beyond mortal comprehension. Munching of cards and the ultimate ability
We're
is
munching.
gained. Will it happen? Will the crystal bestow its final blessing? Oh, it is decided. We have a champion. The
Jesus
wars
Christ.
has spoken.
What is going on?
Rejoice! Rejoice!
Well, they got the Home Depot music playing in the background.
That's right. Good old-fashioned Home Depot rock.
It was
And
a
there
good
it
trailer.
is. All right, whatever. Yeah, it was a good trailer. I agree. I like it.
And I kind of get a sense of the game, and I do kind of want to play it.
Yeah. I would give it a try. It's it's a little tacticsy for my personal taste, but
Yeah.
it seems light enough in the genre. It's like dipping its toes in. It's not fully committing to like the hardcore heavy tactics genre, but I will say one thing that I don't like is this little apostrophe here. I didn't even notice that in the title, but how am I supposed to? And it's also not here.
I think it's because it's meant to be. They're like stealing a crystal, so I think it's like Quartz Wars. It's like a portmanteau of them.
Okay, but that doesn't have anything to do about the apostrophe. You see what I'm saying? And the title.
Yeah,
here?
no, I'm with you.
It's like that.
Wars.
That makes it it makes an already confusing word even more confusing on how to pronounce. So
Yeah.
I would just take it out. That's my little nitpick for the evening. 1 day left, 600 backers, 90K in the bank. A little more than that actually, because we're looking at euros. And
Well, they also reached their goal of 20K in 49 minutes and 30 seconds.
yeah, that's pretty quick.
If I could make 20K in 49 minutes, life would be pretty sweet. Life would be pretty good. I can't lie.
I would just do it every day.
I would do it every day. Yeah,
Every
why
day
not?
I would yeah. Okay. Once again, another annoying thing the GameFound does is that you have to click a button in order to see all of the pledge levels. Don't love that. But here we have the all-in big box core game plus expansion for 130 euros. What is that in dollars? Usually it says what it is in dollars, but I
Usually-
don't see it here.
I got it. This is my man. This is where I shine at man in the computer. That is 147 US dollars.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Well.
Kind of expensive for what I saw in the video.
Well, it does include the expansion, so I'll withhold
Okay,
judgment until we
okay,
see what's in the
okay.
expansion. But I agree. Chicken Barf says it's gonna make its goal if Becca Scott is involved. I once again don't know who Becca Scott is, but I will take your word for it. Both of you guys do, so clearly I'm the one out of the loop here.
She's good. She's a good one.
She's a good
Time
one.
Snail.
Time Snail. You can buy just the
I don't
Time
know what
Snail,
Time
I
Snail
guess.
is, but I like it.
Cool. Light edition standee. Oh, okay. So this doesn't come with the minis, but
Comes
it's
with
still
standees.
$54.
Yeah.
Okay. What's okay? We
Seems-
got to see the components at some point, but let's finish up with this list first. You can get the special edition. This does have the figures for like
Just
what is
so
this, 15
Just
bucks
so us,
more?
yeah. So just so our Americans can put it, standee edition is $60, and the regular version, core version, is $78. So an
Okay.
$18 price difference between the two.
18 bucks is 18 bucks, but I think I'd probably go for the minis. They seem pretty nice.
Yeah,
So, or you can do this and
Sorry?
pay $900.
I'm not sure if I want to pledge my eternal alliance to you for $900. That sounds like a cult induction at the end of this board game.
Yeah. Or can go fully painted for €1,000.
Hey, that is kind of insane. Let me tell you,
Pretty
somebody
sure
that actually knows what the pricing of a painted miniature is, that is kind of insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could pay a professional mini painter to do it for less than that, but
Yeah.
whatever. Ultimate all-in big. Okay, whatever. This is outrageous. Come on, Cores, don't do this to me.
Did anybody back that? Pledged one time.
One person did. Nobody pledged to this one. It looks like.
If you're watching this and you pledge 1,600 euros for this game, nothing against you, nothing against the game. Please DM us. You're on our podcast next. You're on our podcast next week. We're having a deep dive.
Yeah.
We just have some questions.
Okay, so let's see. I would like to see the components, please. Do we have components? Stretch goals, add-ons. What if I just scroll? Oh, here we go. 16 badass one-of-a-kind monsters. Endless map possibilities. Okay, well, there is a lot of stuff on this table here. A lot of these little hex tiles. A lot of cards. The minis are nice. So, I don't know.
It doesn't look like a bad game.
I agree. And there's Becca Scott once again.
There she is.
And then she's great, I guess. So
she's getting her own show on Dropout streaming service soon.
Wow, on Dropout. That's how you know you made it.
That's how you know.
I just want to talk to him. Zach. Okay, cool. I think I've seen all I need to see here.
Looks cool. I'm putting it in the same category as a couple other games tonight, which is I would not want to outright buy it and play it, but I would want to play it at a friend's house.
Yeah.
If my friend bought it.
I think I agree. Let's move on to Infinibrix.
I do not like the cover art from this little piece that we're getting.
33% funded. With $8,000 pledged? What is your goal? How much money do you need?
I have two things to say to you. One,
say it before we click on
I think we need to rethink how much money you're trying to raise. And two, I fear 27 daes after we're now here looking at it, I fear you might not make your goal.
I fear you might not make it. Here, why don't you hold down the fort for one more second? I need to.
Okay.
I need a drink for this.
I'll keep talking. I'll keep talking to Infinibrix. Infinibrix, if you're listening, I want you to know, I do not wish ill on any Kickstarter. I want them all to succeed. In my perfect, beautiful world, a little bit of the 1.2 million euros that Helldivers 2 the board game made can trickle over to you. But we have to have a realistic talk about financial expectations.
This is so frustrating. Sometimes my headset does the thing. We were talking about this earlier in the stream where I put my mic up and it turns off the mic. But I did that this time and it didn't turn it off. So they were just like getting feedback from me because the mic is like right next to the...
Oh.
Whatever. Annoying. Infinibrix. Let's see. Oh boy. Oh man. 25K goal. They've made 8,000. Kind of miss how the hobby was before Kickstarter, to be honest. Was it like this? Or is this what you don't want it to be like anymore? Infinibrix. Let's watch the video.
It's time to play with.
Are these real Lego minifigures?
I think so.
Surely it doesn't come with this, right? These are just Lego minifigures.
I don't think so. I think the pitch of Infinibrix is like using your own toys in a board game. That's what it seemed like from the thing. So.
Huh. Well, considering most board games these days come with their own set of toys included, that's a little bit of a hard sell for me right off the bat, but let's give it a fair shake.
Let's see.
Play with your toys. Welcome to Infinibrix, the only storytelling, role-playing, toy-mashing game where your imagination can truly run wild.
I'm sorry, but this... They do not look like their imagination is running wild right now.
What you don't understand is that their imagination is running so wild that they're like internal, like the insides are going crazy. It's off the rails right now. They're so deep in their own mind universe.
Their parents keep reminding them. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, honey, we're trying to film an ad here. We're filming a commercial. And they're like, oh, what? Sorry, I was too engrossed in Infinibrix.
Run wild.
Yeah.
Want to play a monster truck wizard? How about a dragon princess skeleton? Or a chicken? Other games say no. Infinibrix says,
I think other games do say you can do
I know a
that.
number of games that would say yes, actually.
Then use them for the Triumph dice to do anything you can imagine. Create and destroy objects, heal, hurt, even change tags, altering reality. Put opposing tags on foes and challenges add trouble dice. So roll big or go home. Because that's where you keep your toys! Infinibrix comes with a rule book to get you playing in minutes, a pad full of fill-in-the-blank story scenes guaranteed to make you pants laughing, a pad of
Don't give me fill-in-the-blank story
so
scenes.
you can create your own wild adventures.
What is this?
The most legendary
I don't think this is a game.
Triumph and Trouble dice for epic gambles, Heart and Spark dice for 6 players, and a deck of challenge and item cards for even more action. Get it now to tell zany, wild stories with Infinibrix. Infinibrix is not legally affiliated with any plastic brick corporation, including the Lego Corporation, Mega Bloks, or any other toy that you could possibly.
Yeah, but that's a Lego right there.
All liability for any injuries resulting from extreme hilarity.
What are you talking about?
Infinibrix cannot be held liable.
Oh my god.
Also, how long is this bit going to go on for?
Like adults are actually decent people.
20
Out there,
seconds.
You want it. You need it. You've gotta have it. Back in.
Is the rest of the... Okay. Whew.
All right, Infinibrix. I have some words for you. I
Let's hear
can
your
tell
words.
you, and I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna say it bluntly. Okay, Infinibrix. You've made $8,000 of your $25,000 because you're not selling me on a product. You're selling me on an idea, and it's an idea that I feel has not been fully thought out. You're like telling me there's no such thing before Infinibrix as a place where you can make your toys a character, but you can, and it's called Most to All Tabletop RPGs Ever. And you're telling me there's not a space where I can use my toys in a game, but of course you can. You can do it in any game.
Have they played RPGs before?
Yeah,
I wonder.
A number of RPGs right here. I'm a collector of them, and in any of these things, if somebody told me that they wanted to play like an undead skeleton princess, I would say, yeah, let's see how we can work it into the story. Let's see what we can do for it.
Yeah, you know, I normally make a point of trying to be gracious and generous with these, you know, smaller campaigns that we look at. But this is probably like the most that one of these trailers has pissed me off in all of the time that we've been doing these. And it's like hard to pinpoint exactly why. It's just an annoying trailer, I think. It's just like, I don't know. It feels like it's making assumptions about me and what I want to play that are just incorrect. And also about like other games. It's just completely misunderstanding the current landscape of tabletop gaming and presenting this undercooked idea that they have as if it's like revolutionary. And my advice to the Infinibrix people would be to like play some board games, maybe. Like maybe try out some of your competition.
Chicken Burf saying, which I've never heard of before, but I'm looking into it now. Gaslands was a huge hit, and you use Hot Wheels to play it. But I'm looking at Gaslands right now, and Gaslands is an entire core rulebook for a tabletop RPG that you then just add your like die cut 1/64th scale things for. Like there's a whole book here.
Yeah. Yeah, and also cars is like sort of a novel thing to play with. Like it would be probably pretty hard to work your Hot Wheels cars into your D&D campaign outside of writing like a whole campaign for it. But like skeleton, princess, wizard, whatever, that's just a playable D&D character, you know? You don't have to have
Yeah.
You could be that. There's plenty of games that
Yeah.
you could be a chicken. You could be a chicken in other games if you want to. It's not like
Ryan says,
very inventive.
it very much feels like they're trying to target the adult who wants to find a kid-friendly way to get them into tabletop RPGs, but you can do that without buying anything? Yeah, that's exactly the thing about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like this. I don't like Infinite Bricks.
I'm sorry, Infinite Bricks.
I'm not even sorry. This feels so. This feels a little. I have to be real. It feels a little insulting to
Yeah.
to other.
It's also, Michael, you're writing in your bio here on Kickstarter that you're a high school teacher and game designer who makes games for kids. And I think that's really sweet, but you also have to know, as somebody who has studied game design in academia and like ways to teach and play at the same time, that we're in an era where it's really hard to get a kid's attention. So you need something really snappy and really cool and really immersive to get a kid's attention, and just saying to the average kid, hey, you want to build some stuff out of Legos and then turn it into an RPG, he's probably not going to have the response that you would hope from the average kid.
Yep. Don't love it. It does feel grifty, Zach. You're right. Feels a little bit grifty.
Oh, sorry, Zach. I called you Brian. I call everybody Brian now.
Everybody,
Now everyone's
Brian.
Brian. Everyone's Brian here.
Yeah, Dude, what is going on with? Why is this a GIF? Hello? Are you seeing this?
What is that? Do you think, you know what I think this was? I'm being genuine. Right, what I think is happening. I think this was one of those like iPhone photos,
live
that had, like,
photos,
the live thing taken on it, and when they uploaded it, it just like uploaded it into a GIF form.
They're like, well,
and
that's
kind of
cool.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, Okay. All right, that's enough of that.
Okay.
We don't need to look at this anymore. I'm sorry, Infinite Bricks. I know I said I wasn't sorry.
Wait, I need to know how much you're charging for.
Oh yes, okay.
I'm not
we
even
have
to
guess.
I'm not even gonna take $39.
What would you pay for this?
Well, what would I pay for it is, I would pay.
Assuming you like this.
Assuming I liked it, I would pay $15 for a PDF of it.
Yeah, $15 for a PDF sounds right. I would even. I mean, we sort of glossed over the components list, but in the trailer it sounded like you had like a light rules book and a pad of like fill your own story.
Mad Libs.
Yeah, Mad Libs. Yeah, that's also like, what are you doing? 20. You can't charge more than $20 for this. Which, okay, but the problem is, I can tell you they're going to charge more than $20 for this because they need to raise $25,000. What are you talking about?
I need to know what the $25,000 is going to.
Unless it actually does come with the mini bricks, the minifigures or whatever, which there's no way that it does.
No, it can't. It doesn't.
You don't need $25,000. What are you doing?
Michael, if you're in gambling debt, you can just say it. Okay, you don't have to make a whole Kickstarter.
Okay, so here's your PDF for $15.
$15,
just like you said.
There we go. Okay.
The full game is $40. $40. It includes the rule book, physical. Thanks for clarifying that. Thanks for clarifying that you weren't going to give me a PDF rule book for $40. Adventure path.
Okay.
4-story plus arena scenes, foe and item card deck, blank character sheet. Sheet? 1? And foe item card booklet plus 3 more things. So, whatever. It seems, yeah. Nope. Not for me.
No.
And,
Sorry.
not for very many not for very many other people apparently either. So
Yeah.
sorry,
You got a tough
Infinibrix.
60 hours ahead of you, Infinibrix.
I think you're gonna need to take that one back to the lab for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, on the other end of things,
man, could you get a starker contrast on this list from Infinibrix to Helldivers 2, the board game? Because I admit, I did pre-look at this one a little bit. In fact, I think we might have looked at it last week, actually. And this is just insane.
Well, to anybody who tries to tell me that the board game industry is dying very quickly, I bring you a game that's made $1.2 million.
Yeah. 1.3 almost. That's euros, by the way. Or is that euros?
That's
pounds?
True. Yeah,
I can
euros.
never tell. They look so similar. I think it's actually British
Oh,
pounds.
a metal coin for free. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm interested now.
Okay. Normally you got to pay extra for that.
Yeah.
I do like that they accented that it's free. Okay, should we watch a video?
Yeah, please.
On youtube.com?
Yeah.
Hellpod launch initiated.
Only a minute long, that's a good sign. My fear with these video game board games is that they're just going to use footage from the video game in the trailer, but it doesn't seem like that's what's going on, so that's good. Cool stock footage explosions. This is like by no means a bad trailer, but I have to say that I did kind of expect a little bit better from Helldivers 2, the board game.
Yeah, from like one of the most successful games of 2024.
Yeah.
You know, I can kind of see how Helldivers would become a board game. Like, I think that unlike some of the other games we've looked at, the transition is not as like mysterious to me.
Yeah. I don't really know that much about Helldivers. I know it's like cooperative, first-person shooter, or third-person maybe. I don't know, but
third-person, yeah.
I could see. Yeah, I mean, sure. It's certainly
The whole
ripe
thing
for
is you
cool
get-
minis.
Yeah, you get dropped down into a thing. You have an objective. It's either like extracting something or defending something, and then there's huge waves of basically like these insectoid aliens that come out, and you have to fight them off while completing your tasks.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you're right. I could see where that would work well in board game form.
Also, this reached 60,000 euros in 12 minutes and 26 seconds, which is, I mean, if there's anything better than making $20,000 in 40 minutes, I'd love to be making $60,000 in 12 and a half minutes.
Can't say I disagree with that. I wonder how they're getting there. How are they? Like, I'm sure they have a huge email campaign, sign up list, marketing push behind it before it even launches. But like, really, you got that many people to like come to the page within 12 minutes of it launching?
Yeah,
there's got to be like
crazy.
some incentive to do that, right?
Yeah.
Surely those people don't just like show up in the first 12 minutes for no reason except to support.
Chicken Barks jumping in right off the bat says, looks like great minis, shallow game. I'm guessing 85 pounds.
85 pounds for the
They're
game.
in. They're in on the betting. They're in on the betting pool. Yeah.
Hell yeah! I like that. We need to get more people in on this. 85. Yeah. That's doesn't seem too far off.
No.
I'd be down to just go with you on that.
Yeah, I was gonna guess 90. So.
Okay. Yeah, I would have guessed one or the other. I'll guess 95 just to sort of game the system a little
bit of spread. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Oh, it's 246 pounds for the all-in
for the everything
bundle. 61.
Wow. That's really good.
Yeah. What is included?
How many minis? Yeah.
Wait.
It's just $79 US. It's giving us.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it. Core game, you get all these. Wow, that's a big mini.
Those are really good minis for that price.
Yeah. Free coin. You get your middle coin fix. You get to become a hell diver.
I've always wanted to. So you get the minis for the classes.
Yeah, that's fun.
And the cards for the classes.
All right. Is there a board? So there's got to be a board of some sort. I want to see the board. This thing.
These minis are nice.
Yeah.
These are nice minis too. There you go.
Mission components. Here we go. 5 objective cards, 11 map tiles, 1 initiative order. I don't need to read it all. You guys can see the menu here. It's quite a bit of stuff. Quite a bit of stuff for $79.
That's a good deal.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Maybe that's how they made 60,000 pounds in 12 minutes.
Yeah.
The free coin threw off your guess. Yeah, that's fair. Normally, you would have to pay an extra £30 for that.
Normally, you pay another $10, $15 for that coin. So.
All right,
and cool. Then only 91 for all 3 expansions with it, which is sort of like insane.
Yeah, it's a pretty good price. It's a pretty good price. I wonder what the shipping's like on this.
Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah. I mean, I typically, this is not really the kind of board game that I'm interested in playing. I'm the type of person that, I enjoy video games enough that I would probably just play the video game of this before I play the board game. But
yeah,
honestly, it's not that much cheaper to buy the video game than it is to buy the board game in this. Or yes, is that the wrong way of thinking about it? Should it be that way? I forget. I don't know. Whatever. It seems noteworthy that the price of the video game and the price of the board game are so close, and you get all this stuff.
Yeah.
With the board game. Yeah. I think it's weird for a new game to come in expansions. If it's an expansion, or are we getting screwed with the game coming in 3 parts? Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe that's how they're sort of subsidizing this. Although it seemed like a lot of stuff that you get with the base game, so I don't know. I just don't know. Nor do I really care quite enough about it to read deeper and find out what exactly. Yeah. If I was like considering buying this, I would read a little bit deeper and figure that out if I really needed to. But also 91 pounds, I don't know what that translates to, probably like $110 or so. But that's also not, like Arel was saying, not that bad for a game that looks like this. So overall, very impressive. Not for me, not my kind of game, but I know there are people out there that just eat this stuff up. So yeah, good for them. Don't do it on GameFound though. Get off of GameFound. I hate GameFound. Use Kickstarter like a real board game.
I bet GameFound must have offered something real pretty to PlayStation to get Helldivers to be a GameFound exclusive.
Yeah, probably. All right,
Final
last game of the night, and then we will give out our awards and then wrap things up. So let's, without further ado, have a look at Mine 77. Initial thoughts? You got anything?
Do I have to know Mine 1 through 76 to understand it, do you think?
It's probably like Fallout, where all the different mines have like lore and stuff. Or maybe this is actually, or maybe this is the 77th game that they've put out in the Mine series. All right, let's watch the video and find out. Whoa, Star Wars font, or not font, but whatever. Title card.
Unique blend of 2 rondels? What is 2 rondels? Do I not know something?
Yeah, is that just like a deep cut board gaming term?
Where's Brian? Brian, what are 2 rondels? Paging Dr. Euro.
2 rondels, worker placement, deck building, and more. All right, this is probably going to be pretty heavy. 90 to 120 minutes playtime. I also really would appreciate some voiceover work on this. Even bad voiceover work would be better.
Mine and farm resources. Outsmart your rivals. Find your path to victory.
Thank you.
Featuring engaging worker placement. Dynamic dual rondel mechanic. There it is again. Premium component.
Is it where
Every
they're
move
spinning?
matters.
Is it where the two pieces spin? That's got to be
that
what it
a
is, right?
rondel is? Maybe you're right. They are the Mancala mechanic.
Oh, okay.
Where things like move.
I don't know. I haven't played enough Mancala to know the.
Are rondels the like notches in a Mancala board?
They're showing gears while they're talking about the rondels, which makes me think that it's like a spinning thing, but it's clearly Chicken Barf knows what they are, so maybe we're just in the dark here. We are, for what it's worth, noteworthy non-Euro gamers. So people
really bad at comprehending Euro
people
games.
love
It's
pointing
our
out that we never have anything nice to say about Euro games, which is fair criticism.
Which is a very fair criticism.
We do really need a token Euro gamer on this podcast to
a meeple Euro gamer.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, here we go.
Premium components. Every move matters. Here's some stock footage. Every decision counts. Praised by top reviewers. Such as. Nope. Oh, yes.
Rada runs through.
Oh, Rada runs through. There's Rada runs through. We see them a lot.
What is that?
Oh, the old Tails at Titan. Both sides of my table.
I don't know if I'd say
Back
those
now
are renowned
more
reviewers.
comment. This is your only chance. Oh my god. Ooh, that was like a
52
ransom
seconds.
note at the end for a second.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess setting Helldivers aside, because it's on GameFound and they don't do a thing like this. This is the only game on Kickstarter tonight that has made other games before. So
and 22 others.
22, quite a few. Probably all the other Mine games. Cool. Well, like I said, it's a Euro game, and it seems like it's using some Euro mechanics. People tend to like that. Some people do. Not really my cup of tea. The art looks kind of cool, though. I can't really get a grip on what art style this is, though. Like,
yeah, I don't like the logo.
Yeah, it's a weird font, and it also doesn't match like this aesthetic going on in the background. And the trailer also did not use anything in this art style.
It used no art. It used no art in the whole thing.
It was just like stock images.
Yeah.
You know? This, like, you could have had an image of the game board down here instead. This is AI generated. This is for sure an AI generated.
Looks AI generated, yeah.
Map thing, which, you know, I'd rather it be in the trailer than in the board game. I'm not going to knock against the game for that. I'm knocking against the trailer here.
Yeah. Well, somebody's not winning best trailer of the night.
Yeah, certainly not. Wait, do you think this is AI generated video footage?
Oh, that'd be kind of crazy.
I kind of do. 'Cause what is this thing that he's wearing? What is he wearing?
Oh, you're so right. Oh no.
Wow, praised by top reviewers.
Dude, everyone's talking about the rondels.
I gotta be honest, I kind of don't care about the rondels.
Oh, it's a standalone prequel for Factory 42.
What?
Says that right there on the box.
Okay, if you say so. Look, I don't want to. Clearly, this game is not for me, and so I don't want to go in too hard on it. Maybe the game is totally fine. I wouldn't really be the person to judge that, but I will judge the artwork and components. Okay, here we go.
Oh
wait.
Well, that looks like it could be maybe
AI generated. Yeah, perhaps. There's no disclaimer about it, which you are supposed to have if you do use it.
In this game is
so
all over the place.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
what are
that's
these
ugly.
flame things?
Oh, that was really ugly. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we just need to sit on this little GIF for a second, I think, because
we need to go back to that again. So the numbers, you need a Jesus Christ Almighty.
The beer.
When it goes back to
the weed.
The numbers.
What are you doing? There's You can get your dwarves high in this game?
When we go back to the numbers, I need you to see that the numbers are off center for the token. So like
Okay.
hang on, it's in a couple. It's in a couple. Don't talk to me about the rondels.
Don't talk to me about the rondels. Come on.
We're so close. We're so close.
This sucks. I hate this.
We're so close. We're so close? Question mark. We're close? Question mark. We're close. Here.
They're off center. I see. Yes.
They're off center.
They're off center. They're off center. Yeah. No, I agree. This is weird, and I would venture to say bad.
So
artistically,
this
at least.
whole thing does kind of look like it was like made with AI. Like every part of it. It was like really poorly made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the way that all
there's
the
no
art
consistency.
Is so
yeah,
no.
Exactly. There's no consistency.
Can we look at some of their other projects quickly?
Really yes, we can. Yes, we can. That's a great idea. AKA DDP Games. Okay, I see. It's just a little acronym. So here's Golem Run.
Okay, which is in production.
Okay, let me know if you want to click on any of these.
Yeah.
Here's Verdun.
Mm-hmm.
There's Justice.
Yeah.
Kind of the same font as Verdun.
The old trick-taking in a Machiavellian dwarven court. I'm always talking about that. I'm always asking for a game just like that.
My read on this company, just based on the very... this has got to be AI art, by the way. Just based on the limited stuff that I've seen from them in the past 5 minutes, it seems like they're just game lovers, like very heavy Euro game lovers, and they just really want to make Euro games, and they don't really have much of the pipeline in place to do so outside of like their game design shop. So maybe the games are fun, and if you just don't care about any other aspect of what makes a board game fun, then this is for you. But it just kind of seems like it's missing the mark in a lot of ways.
Can you go I'm on their website right now. Can you go to Factory 42 right there? Yeah. And you just see if they have a cover of the box art so you can see how they like did
this?
No, it's different. I think this might be an expansion for it.
You just link it to me?
Yeah, here, I'm gonna send you a picture on Discord.
Okay.
I just want you to look at how they wrote the things on the cover of the box.
Okay.
Because I know it's gonna like there's like a little part of you that's gonna die. Here, please look at this, and then kind of zoom in on the.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Can you put it? Can you show it?
Yeah. 1 second. Hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, here we go. So, this is killing me. You absolutely cannot have text on the cover of your box like that. That is unacceptable.
Why would you do it? Like, who made the choice? That's what I want to know.
What they're trying to do is have it look like it's flowing on this banner. I talk about this all the time, don't I? It's the classic problem where you hire an artist, or maybe this is AI art. I don't know. I could be convinced either way, actually. But you work with an artist of some sort, and you ask them for like, hey, do a cover for my game, and give them no further guidance, and then you get like this image, and they're like, oh shoot, we need a place to put the text, and so like your marketing guy or your game designer with no graphic design skills whatsoever has to come in. Oh, sorry, I'm just now realizing that you can't really see this on the stream because my face is covering it up. This is what we're looking at. Yeah, and then you end up with stuff like this where it's just like your box cannot be looking like this.
I'm looking at their other game, Justice, and I do believe all of the art is AI because I'm looking at different cards and they're also different from each other.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to turn the stream into like an
we're
AI
not doing another
thing,
AI thing.
But
yeah.
But whatever. The game's not for me, anyways. I'll leave it up to the people who it is for to make up their minds about it. How is it doing, by the way? I'm a little curious now. Okay, so it's funded. 14K in the bank.
I will also say their description of their company, if you scroll down a little bit, says that they have. Oh, can you go up a little? Oh, 25. That they have 25 people working for them. Oh, I guess I say across the globe. I'm on their website right now. They have 7 employees.
Okay.
Bit of a difference there. Not a big thing to zoom in on, but it is just weird that they're like making themselves
it's probably
to
like
be a really
playtesters.
big company. Yeah.
That's probably got like, a network of playtesters and like idea providers that they, call part of their team, but not on the payroll. This is kind of exactly what I was saying earlier. So they create games because they're passionate about their craft. Yeah, this reads to me like classic, board game lover, loves board games, love like heavy Euro games, doesn't really care about any other part of the equation. And you know what? Clearly they've found how many? 157 other people who are in that same camp that just like all they want to do is play the heaviest. Not that this is the heaviest Euro game ever, but like a new Euro game, and this is going to provide that for them. So props to them for that. I don't think it's looking particularly enticing, but that's just me. Okay, that concludes.
We've reached the end.
What's that? Yeah, we've reached the end. Yes.
So we've reached the end. Yeah.
So now that's okay. So what I've been thinking this whole time, while we've been doing this stream, the idea that's sort of been forming in my mind is that wouldn't it be cool if we could like put this on a tier list? Do like a tier list maker at the end. It seems like kind of a lot to coordinate at this point in time. We're already this deep into the stream. I think maybe what I'll do for next week is prepare it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Grab all the box images and stuff. But chicken barf. So are light games all you guys play? Yeah. I mean, I play some medium weight stuff, but I'm trying to think of what the heaviest game on my shelf. I like Arcs. I'm a big fan of Arcs. Gosh, what else?
Do you consider Calico to be a medium game?
You talking to me, or are you talking to Chicken Barf?
I'm talking to Chicken
Barf. Okay. What else do I have behind me? Yeah, nothing heavy really. Not a lot of heavy stuff on my shelf.
Listen, the two things I have are Calico and Marvel Champions, and I don't even know if either of those could be considered heavy or medium. So
certainly nothing heavy. Although I wouldn't say that all we play is just like party games, Ameritrash type stuff, dice rolling, Yahtzee. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a big card game guy, so like we were talking about it a little earlier, but trading card games, that's my jam. Asking because this is the only game you said was too much. Yeah. I mean, I think it probably. Usually, we will encounter more than one game.
If we know which game would have been at the bottom of the list. All right.
Well, it's not mine 77 if that's what you're implying here, Brian. It's got to be Infinibrix, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
that's true.
Maybe that's the implication. That would be at the bottom. I mean, we can do a tier list without having the thing in front of us here. I think, Infinibrix is F tier. Mine 77 is, give it a C, maybe.
Yeah.
Parts of the High Teas gets a B, I think.
Yeah, I put Pirates and
maybe an A.
Yeah,
there's an A if there's an S tier above it.
Yeah.
If there's an S tier at the top, then it gets A.
I'd put Taxi and Rabbits in B tier. Does that seem fair?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I would put Taxi pretty low in B. If we're doing Pirates, Taxi, and Rabbits all in B tier, I think Taxi's at the bottom
Taxi's
of
maybe
B
got to
tier
go C. Maybe Taxi's got to go to C.
Yeah, I mean it's ahead of. What was the other one in C? Mine 77. Certainly ahead of Mine 77. Maybe Mine 77 gets a D.
It's sort of unfair to put Helldivers 2 so high because it already has so much capital in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a very successful franchise. It's very obvious that PlayStation put a lot of money into this thing. Like, it's like trying to put a small indie film up against a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I think you have to judge it for what it is. And you also have to like keep the price point in mind, I think. And it's certainly the most expensive game on this list. So I think all that considered, I'd probably give it a B. I'd put it in B tier.
I'd go to B. Yeah.
That sounds fair to me.
Yeah.
I would probably put it high up in B tier, maybe above Raising Rabbits.
Yeah.
I might put Pirates of the High Seas ahead of Helldivers too.
I think I'd give me personally. I think I'd give Cores the highest score of the night.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Strangely,
I think
that
agree.
one really stuck with me the most.
Yeah, I don't think I would put it in S tier though. It would get an A.
No,
I don't think we
it'd
have
be an
any
A
S tier
tier,
games on this list tonight. Chrono Core, that's
Yeah.
so hard to. That's another one where it's just really difficult to put on this list because it's sort of
Yeah.
a totally different thing. But I think I could put Chrono Core in A.
I'm going to tell you the thing that I'm going to work on over this next week, which
All right,
is
tell me
I've
about
designed three awards
Mm.
for us to be giving at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the night. Number one, which is our favorite of the lot? Which one are we giving our favorite award to?
Okay, you're asking me right now?
Yeah.
That's Cores, right?
I would say Cores for me.
Yep. It's got to be Cores for me.
Question 2, which of the games had the best trailer of the night?
Ooh. Cores again, I think.
You think Cores? I think Cores was good. I also think the Pirates of the High Seas was pretty good too.
That's true.
So-
That's true. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that one. It's been so long. Yeah, I would give it to Pirates actually over Chrono Core.
And the third and
Or
final
Cores.
of our awards is who had the best artwork overall? Be it card art, box art, the whole shebang.
Man, I would maybe give that to Chrono Core actually.
Oh yeah, Chrono Core was really good.
Helldivers obviously is very, very high quality artwork. And if you're just comparing the two, nameplates off, probably it goes to Helldivers. But that feels a little bit of a. That feels a little.
Feels a little disingenuous.
Right. Yeah.
Again, yeah.
I think it's more worth acknowledging that Chrono Core has good artwork than it is hyping up.
I totally forgot about Chrono Core. Yeah. I'll
Which
say
would you give it to?
Chrono Core. I think I'd honestly give it to Raising Rabbits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really gorgeous storybook Disney art in a weird game that's not meant for it. But
That's true.
still,
Yeah.
really beautiful art.
Yeah, I could certainly be convinced. I
Yeah.
could be convinced to give it to Raising Rabbits, but yeah, that's fun. I think what I'm gonna do next week is just have like a Photoshop file prepared where we've got all of the cover arts for all of these games like preloaded in and a tier list ready to arrange them, and then a separate one that's got our 3 awards that we can. That'll be
I
fun.
love that.
We can make like a social media post out of it too. I'll put it up on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram. That's
That'd
good
be really
content.
fun. That's good content.
That's content, baby.
Uh,
All right, everybody. Well, I think that is probably going to do it for us tonight. Yeah, great show. Great. Well, we've been
Thanks
going
so
for like
much.
2
Yeah,
hours
It's been
now.
really fun. It's been really fun. Yeah.
This is a
Time
good week.
flies.
Good week, despite not too many games. Although I will say this is the right number of games. This feels like the right number of games for a.
It was very nice actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't have to rush through anything. Got to spend a good amount of time. So cool, guys. Well, I think that's all I got. Arl, you got any closing comments? Do you want to shout anything out?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah. Same. If you made it to the end of the show and you enjoy clearly you enjoy what you're watching, go ahead and drop a follow if you're on Twitch and you haven't done so already, or if you're over on YouTube, you can hit that subscribe button to have these videos pop up in your feed every Thursday. And look out for us on the next episode of Kickstarter Quest. Until then, Take care, be safe, play games, have fun. I don't know. I need to come up with some sort of like closing
And
call sign.
most importantly,
what's the most
if you thought that we had terrible opinions on games and have no idea how they work, you could show it to us by going to sp1cy.com, buying Sam's board games, and then telling us how much you hated them, but only after you've paid full retail price for them.
That's a great point, actually. You can so when you place an order, there's a additional comments section. That would be a great place for you to leave any comments that you might have about feedback on the show, or just things that you think that I need to know. So
let us know exactly how you feel after spending $22.99 USD.
Yep, sounds great to me. All right, thanks everybody. That's going to do it for us tonight. Again, see you all right here again next week for Kickstarter Quest. Bye-bye.